Welcome to the Playbook, your ultimate game plan for college sports. Four guys who live and breathe the game are here to break down the biggest plays, hottest takes, and boldest predictions, bringing you segments like The Kickoff.
Haynes King rolls into Mercedes-Benz Stadium next season.
No way!
And they beat the Georgia Bulldogs.
Halftime hoops.
You know what? I have faith in Gonzaga. They're going to go all the way.
Gonzaga's the same team every year, and they disappoint every year.
Seventh inning stretch.
Drew Burress is the best player in college baseball.
What are you talking about? Jamie Arnold clears him.
And to end it all off, a signature segment of Who's That Campus Legend.
The first hint is this player went to UNC.
It's obviously Drake May.
Dude, it's Michael Jordan.
This is The Playbook on Wolf Sports Network.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Playbook, our season finale. Thank you all so much for joining us on this entire season. And I'm today joined by, of course, Aiden Navy behind the board, Jackson Bulls, and Brandon Dyer. Aiden, how's your day going so far?
It's been great. Been a great day. Very excited to wrap up this wonderful season of the playbook that we've had.
Oh, yeah. All right, Jackson. How we doing today, man?
I'm so excited. I'm excited. It's been a great season with y'all, especially, and I've been grateful to have y'all as the great cast y'all have been, especially for being on for a very first season for Wolf Sports Network. So it's been awesome.
Humble answer from a humble man.
Very humble.
Very humble. Brandon Dyer, how are we doing today?
I don't think that I could have started over here at Wolf Sports Network and started the Playbook with a better group of guys.
Aw.
So I think you guys have been really good friends to me and really good guys to have on a show with. And let's kick off this finale, son.
I love that. All right, like he said, let's kick off this finale with some NFL draft recap.
The Playbook has won the coin toss. They've elected to start the kickoff segment of the show. To Carrollton, the community, we present to you the kickoff.
You heard it. It is time for the kickoff. And as we all know, the NFL draft was this past week. And the first round could have went a little bit different. A lot of crazy things happened, but a lot of also very obvious things happened. Cam Ward went number 1. I'd say Travis Hunter going 2 was very clear, but the Jaguars trading up to get him was unexpected.
Yeah.
Well, how do you guys feel your teams did? I mean, we have a wide variety at this station. Bills fan here, Falcons and Bengals. We got Eagles, and then whatever team Aiden likes. He likes any team.
The Dolphins, according to last week's graphic.
No, I'm a Falcons fan.
He's
I
a
was just doing a
Falcons
bit.
fan. All right, well, I'm going to throw this to Jackson first.
Okay.
Your team had the last pick in the first round, but decided to trade up to 31 to make their pick. What do you think of the Eagles draft?
No, honestly, I really liked our first-round draft pick. Again, last year we drafted Cooper DeJean. We drafted Quinyon Mitchell. This year we drafted a very much-needy linebacker who's also versatile in playing edge. Again, we have off-season losses that include Josh Sweat. Brandon Graham retired. I was looking at either D-line or O-line because our O-line's getting old and it's injury-ridden. But honestly, I love Jahad Campbell. I originally had him going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's a pick I didn't really understand because, you know, you got Chris Godwin. You drafted Jalen McMillan last season. You have Mike Evans still out there. But, you know, I love Jahad Campbell. Another SEC product for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, getting drafted to the Eagles defense, it pretty much guarantees that you're going to be a good player. The Eagles know how to scout defensive talent. I love Jahad Campbell. I also had him top 20 in my draft. I thought he was going to be a guy that was going to go higher than that. Like a lot of people had him like mid-20s to that 30 to the early 30s on their mock drafts. I had him in the top 20. I thought he was a really great prospect.
I had him at 19,
Yeah, I thought he was a really great prospect that was going to go above. It didn't work out. He didn't get drafted that high. Still has the talent. Still, I think is going to be very good and for a very long time in the league.
Yeah, I agree with Aiden. I liked Jahad Campbell coming out of college. Even though I'm a Georgia fan, I really liked Jahad Campbell. But I did not expect him to drop as far as he did. I expected him to go top 20, maybe even top 15, but he fell all the way down to 31, and the Eagles landed him perfectly. And I think that's a great fit for your guys' defense.
I'm right there with them. I think that was one of the best pickups of the first round of the draft. Now, how do you feel about the trade, though, to just moving up that one spot?
At 32, I mean, I didn't really think the Chiefs necessarily needed D-line. I didn't necessarily think they were going to go Jahad Campbell. But giving up a pick, we had a total of 8 picks in the NFL draft this year, and giving up a pick I was fine with. I also loved our other draft picks this year in Andrew Makuba and a guy in the 6th round. Not saying we're going to utilize him, but Kyle McCord, in case Jalen Hurts gets injured, which that's highly unlikely. Jalen Hurts hasn't been injured since he's been a starter in the NFL. You know, that O-line it's stacked. It's stacked. We just extended Cam Jurgens. So Kyle McCord, we need a pocket passer. We need a pocket passer. And Kyle McCord, again, not saying we're going to utilize him, but I like him. And Ty Robinson as well.
I love Kyle McCord. I mean, being from New York, Syracuse was one of my favorite teams growing up until I finally started watching college.
That's a wild statement.
And then I became a Georgia fan because I moved to Georgia.
I've never heard that in my life.
I like Syracuse before I liked Georgia, so I'll just say that I love Kyle
Syracuse
McCord.
fan. JT Gross.
Big Syracuse fan. They're my second team right now. But I want to go ahead and move on to the Buffalo Bills and what we did in this draft. At pick 30, taking Maxwell Hairston out of Kentucky, a 4.28 40 cornerback out of Kentucky. Jackson, you're a Kentucky Wildcat fan. Tell us a little bit more about Maxwell Hairston.
Again, as you said, I state this time and time again. I watched it with multiple Georgia fans here at the station. I think that was a pick 6, and that should have been a touchdown. Kentucky got screwed. But besides that point, Maxwell Hairston, there was a lot of comparisons of, again, this guy coming out of college. He was projected to be fantastic in the NFL, Desmond Trufant. I saw a lot of pro comps when it came to Maxwell Hairston to Desmond Trufant. He's a speedy guy. He ran a 4.28 40. He's an amazing upfield corner. He also is fantastic in man coverage, and I think we saw that in the Georgia game, in the Ole Miss game, and in the Tennessee game, despite, the losses to Georgia and Tennessee this past season.
Yeah, well, Maxwell Hairston, obviously, if you guys watched the draft show, he was not my first selection at the moment.
No.
I liked another guy named Nick Emenwari coming out of South Carolina, and he ended up falling down to the mid-second round. But I don't hate that at all.
I was looking at another guy for you guys. I was wondering about Trey Amos out of Ole Miss.
Trey Amos would have been good too.
That's who I had in my mock draft, and he was still sitting there whenever you guys were on the clock. So how do you feel about you guys taking Hairston over Amos right there?
I feel like after the draft, I went back to my dorm, and I watched everything on this kid, on Maxwell Hairston, because I was like, if he's going to be on our team, he needs to be one of our main guys because we lost so many defensive pieces. This guy needs to step up. And with watching how he plays and watching how good of a character he is, at the NFL draft, he was congratulating every single draftee that went before him. And that's something that is huge in the Bills Mafia. We're going to love him. We're going to accept him right into the Bills Mafia. And I really love that pick for us.
Yeah, Hairston also was probably one of, if not the best athletes at corner in this draft.
Yeah.
So if you are confident in your coaching staff you have in the building out there in Buffalo to where they can coach and reload that team, Hairston's got all of the intangibles, all the stuff that you can't teach him in the building, down pat. He had the best 40 time, the best vertical jump, the best broad jump of any corner at the combine. If you believe in your coaching staff, get a guy like him in the room over anybody else.
Yeah, and this coaching staff is the same coaching staff that drafted Josh Allen over Josh Rosen, and fans were killing him for it, killing Brandon Beane for it, but yet Josh Allen is an MVP. Josh Rosen, I don't even know what happened to the guy.
He's out of the league. He's
retired.
retired.
He's not even in the league
He's
anymore.
retired. He's gone. He's gone.
But
he is one
Had
of those
some tough
guys I was
times lately.
one of those guys I was super high on coming into college, but he
Yeah.
obviously didn't pan out.
Obviously, the Bills knew what they were doing, though. But I want to say, wrapping up our entire draft, TJ Sanders we traded up for in the 2nd round out of South Carolina, a D tackle. Landon Jackson in round 3, which if you guys haven't seen that video,
Great value.
that video of him in high school, I believe, or college, he was smacking the dummies and he was barely hitting them. Dude, that dude's a freak of nature now. I love that kid out of Arkansas. And now round 4, Deion Walker, another Kentucky guy, D tackle. I've heard good things from Jackson over
I
here.
love
so.
Deion
This is an
Walker.
all SEC draft.
Yeah,
Honestly-
we might as well just have the whole Kentucky Wildcats. They start calling us the Kentucky Bills.
JT, I love that pick, and here is why. Again, well, he had a down season last season, but the season prior he averaged around 14. He had 14 sacks the season prior, and I kind of expected him his junior year to go into the draft, but unfortunately that was not the case, and I feel like he could have been drafted higher. I feel like Deion Walker is a sneaky pick. Unfortunately, the only thing I don't like about him is he is on the slower side for his position, but Deion Walker is a freak of nature. So, I mean, getting him in what round?
Round 4.
In
pick
round 4?
109.
Could potentially be a steal of the draft. Not saying that as a Kentucky bias, but I like Deion Walker.
I really like that, and we lost some pieces on our D-line, so we're definitely stacking it up, getting some size. We picked up guys like Joey Bosa over the offseason, and so I'm a big fan of what we're doing with this defense. That's the one thing that has had us fall short the past however many seasons we've made the playoffs and faced the Chiefs. That's been our problem, is our defense, and I love how we stacked up on defense. Now, our first offensive pick was in the 5th round when we went with Jackson Hawes out of Georgia Tech.
Yes.
Which we got 2 Georgia Tech fans here, so they love this kid. Tell me about Jackson Hawes.
So you're not going to see a whole lot of production out of him in the receiving game.
In the receiving game.
Hold up. In the receiving game. But where he's really going to shine, he is going to block the edge over there and free up holes for whoever y'all put in the backfield, James Cook or whoever y'all have starting behind him. And that's where he really shined at Georgia Tech, was he was a really big, blocking tight end.
Yeah.
You can maybe even move him over to tackle if y'all guys are having tackle problems.
I don't know. I don't think we have any tackle problems, but if we ever run some 2 tight end sets, which the Bills love to do, we've had Kincaid, we've had Dawson Knox, so we've ran those 2 tight end sets before. Throwing Jackson Hawes in there to get some lead blocks would be amazing. And in round 6, we have Dorian Strong out of Virginia Tech, another corner. We took an offensive tackle out of UConn, Chase Lunt, in the 6th round. And one of our biggest needs that I felt like we would have targeted a little bit more in the draft, wide receiver. We didn't take one until round 7. With our last pick, we take Caden Prather out of Maryland, which I don't know much about this kid at all, why he's a 7th round pick probably. But, I mean, I'm not going to argue with the fact that last season we didn't really have any great wide receivers. We had a bunch of guys that were serviceable wide receivers that Josh Allen could spread the ball around to. And if Caden Prather can contribute to that, I don't see why Josh Allen doesn't have another great season like he did last year. But now I'm going to kick it to the Falcons fans to go ahead and talk about your guys' draft.
Okay, so
take it away, Brandon.
over the past 3 weeks, we've been talking about the draft on this show. And making my Atlanta Falcons draft board, I was like, there's no way this scenario is going to happen. But I didn't even think that it was a scenario that could even happen in my wildest dreams of Jalen Walker falling to us. I had a Michael Williams in most of them because it was our choice between Michael Williams, Mike Green, or Shamar Stewart. Well, there were some teams that just started passing on Jalen Walker. And let me tell you, I cannot be more excited for Jalen Walker coming into Atlanta. This may be one of the best first-round draft picks I've seen the Falcons make. It's the first one in about 4 years that's made the most sense.
Yeah.
So I'm just glad we went with a position that we were able to get. I was happy earlier in the draft, and he's also played linebacker to where he can kind of help on the linebacking side, helping coverage as well as pass rush. Because Jalen Walker, he's a better pass rusher than he is a pass defender. But then the big shock for me was the fact that we wound up trading back into the first round with the Rams, and we wound up going defensive end, going James Pierce Jr., which I absolutely loved doubling down on that little area on the defense because that was the area we had the most trouble with for the past feels like 10 years. But I think we finally did have a good first round of the draft. So as a Falcons fan, I don't think I could be any happier than I am right now about it.
I want to add in, you did say Jalen Walker. They
was
finally
better.
drafted a Georgia guy after so long. But I love the move that you guys made, trading back up into the first round to get James Pierce Jr., and that allows Jalen Walker to kind of be more of a versatile linebacker, not just strictly with pass rush, but dropping back into coverage. He excels in both.
And I think that when we traded back in, it was a good thing for us to do if we were going edge rusher because there was a clear difference in James Pierce Jr. and whoever the next guy was. I think it was Izzy Moore. Is that how you say his name?
Izaraku.
Izaraku.
Donovan
Izaraku.
From Boston College. So if we were going to go edge, I'm glad that we went and we got one of those top guys that we're going to go in the first round again.
This draft sent me into a deep depression.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
He has
Hold
some
up.
mixed
The Falcons,
opinions.
they drafted players that I just don't think are very good at football. Now, they did draft them at positions of need.
Aiden.
Now, we know
we know
the
who
Falcons.
really wanted.
The Falcons needed defense really bad, and Jalen Walker plays defense. That's a positive.
He does
I'm
play
not
defense.
sold on how well he plays defense. I don't really see his game translating. He was playing in one of the best defenses assembled at the collegiate level at Georgia, and he was one of the best players on it, but he didn't stand out to a level that we've seen players stand out there in the past, like a Nakobe Dean, like a Trayvon Walker. He didn't have the production numbers of people in similar situations that we've seen succeed in the NFL. His numbers were worse than the past elite guys at Georgia. Trading back up for James Pierce Jr. In this insanely deep edge class.
Yeah.
This edge class, there's not a massive gap between James Pierce Jr. and Donovan Izaraku.
There
I had
is.
Donovan Izaraku over James Pierce Jr. Donovan Izaraku got 17 sacks last year.
So
Braden Swinson out of LSU. Who's the guy at Arkansas y'all took in the third?
Landon Jackson.
Landon Jackson, another good player that was there in the third round. Giving up a first round next year
That's what I was
to
going
come
to say.
back
You
up
give up a future first round for
to
that.
come back up in an edge class that is so deep where James Pierce Jr. is not worth a first round pick next year.
Oh, I
Not
think he
in this draft
absolutely
class.
is.
Nah,
With
he's
the
good.
upside that he had at Tennessee, I know that he didn't have a great season last season, but he's had a great collegiate career over there at Tennessee.
He had a great sophomore season. He had to build on it his senior year. He had about the same year, his junior year. He just didn't show the growth that you want to see from a guy year over year. That other edges in this draft did.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what you're talking about, Aiden. I don't. I really think that we made the right choice in this. I guess we finally, the Falcons front office finally wound up just doing what the fans wanted them to do, and I guess that's me being spoiled in it, or me being like, hey, y'all need to listen to us. But I don't know. I think that I have a pretty good read on the game of football right now. So
Doing what the fans want you to do is not always right. The fans do not study football professionally like general managers. Like Brandon Beane got slaughtered for taking Josh Allen in the first round, as you
Yes,
said.
he did.
And that was a great pick. Fans were not happy with him at the time. Fans wanted his head in the street in Buffalo. Terry Fontenot just giving in to the fans' pressure and taking bad players and then trading back into the first round and I think giving up our future, to be honest with you. Giving up a future first, giving up a player that could really, really change this franchise if the Jalen Walker pick doesn't work out. I don't think it will. I just don't like the position the Falcons are in following this draft.
So I kind of understand where Aiden's coming from just due to the fact of giving up a future first-round pick. But when it comes to James Pierce Jr., I like the pick of James Pierce Jr. Do I think he would have fallen into the second round? Look, you have, again, the Eagles were looking at edge. There's a potential that, there was a lot of mock drafts that James Pierce Jr. Was going to go to the Eagles. But when the Falcons have an eye, or an NFL team or an NFL organization has an eye on a certain player, they're going to draft that player. No, Matt, again, you said giving in to fans' pressure. I understand that as well. And, you got to bring a Georgia boy home.
Yeah, I think Fontenot's feeling a lot of pressure from outside right now. The pressure that fans are putting on Terry Fontenot, he hasn't gotten a lot of results in his years with the Falcons. So this year he gave in. He did what the fans wanted him to do. He traded back in for that big edge. And I don't love the position it puts us in.
Yeah, so this was a very, very great edge draft class, probably one of the best we've seen in a long time. And reading the trade details, the Falcons got the 26th pick and a third-round pick, while the Rams ended up getting the 46th pick in the second round. And the Falcons traded away their first-round pick next year and their seventh-round pick as well. I'm not a fan of the trade-up. I think James Pierce Jr. is a great player, like Brandon was saying, but I don't think that trading up in such a powerful edge class is not the move here.
Yeah, it's not the value.
Can we talk about, like, you were talking about trade ups? Can we talk about, like, some trade downs or some falls in the NFL draft? Because
There's one
I
very
feel like
big
there's a
one.
significant
so
one.
I wanted to. This guy right here in his mock draft had Shedeur Sanders going at 2. I had him going at 9 because I felt like the Jets were going to pick up Tyler Warren. Shedeur Sanders
who
fell
had him
to
going
the
to the
5th
fifth
round.
round?
How are
Well,
you
now-
Locked him in
feeling
the
right
fifth
now?
guy.
Nobody had him.
Well, now hold up. Now Aiden wasn't too far off. It was only 142 picks.
Yeah,
Oh,
guys,
that's
almost
not-
had it.
You're right, Brandon. My bad.
Okay.
My bad.
In defense of Shedeur Sanders, which I've done vehemently on this
Let's
show
be
multiple
legendary.
times,
Let's be legendary, coach.
Shedeur Sanders is a great player. Still, even if he went in the 5th round, even though NFL teams did whatever, I don't know what was going on with it. I think it's a show to young players, don't let your dad be your agent. You do need an agent going out there and working for you to get you picked in this draft. Agents are very important. Go out and get an agent if you're going to the draft.
You know,
That's the lesson learned for young players. For Shedeur, I think Shedeur still had first-round talent. Mel Kiper Jr. still has him number 1. Donald Trump put out a tweet supporting Shedeur Sanders. On my side, I have Mel Kiper, the man who's been talking the draft longer than NFL teams have had scouting departments focusing on the draft year-round. Mel Kiper's draft almanac he put out is the most influential thing in the NFL draft. And the most powerful man in the world, Donald Trump, still believes in Shedeur. I'm on that team.
Okay, so I want to ask y'all this question. What are your thoughts on Tyler Schuff, the Louisville quarterback,
goodness.
going over Shedeur Sanders? Brandon, you graduated high school with him. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh my gosh.
I think he was still a few years before Tyler Schuff, to be honest with you.
Okay, dude. So, I didn't understand him taking him over Shedeur. So my biggest thing in all of this was I didn't want the Browns to get Shedeur, whether they were going to take him at 2 or after that trade, it was at 5. I did not want the Browns to take him early in this draft. I thought the Browns did something I've never seen them do, and they went with a safe, good pick whenever they got Mason Graham at number 5. Now, I don't mind them going and getting Shedeur Sanders if it's in the 5th round, if he's still there. Like, by all means, go and do that because he's not going to be worth your number 5 overall pick when there's that much talent left up there in those high picks like that.
Okay, so I want to ask, like the Cleveland Browns drafted Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd, Shedeur Sanders in the 5th. You still got Deshaun Watson, but he's out for the season. Kenny Pickett obviously hasn't proven as an NFL starter.
What do you mean?
And then you got 40-year-old Magic Joe Flacco. We all know the Cinderella run. He took the Cinderella Browns.
Cinderella
The
run.
Cleveland Browns on a couple years ago. Why draft
Won a single
Gabriel in the
playoff game.
3rd and Sanders in the 5th?
Why not?
Why not?
I was about to say, if one of them works out, they work out. If one of
Yeah.
them don't,
I
they
mean,
don't.
I understand having a
Like-
backup option.
Money-wise, I think it makes perfect sense for
If
him.
you
Yeah,
could
I like Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd, but I like taking Shedeur in the 5th as well because I think he has higher value than a 5th round pick. I don't think he should have fell that far. I don't think anybody thinks they should have fell that far. And I mean, why not? Like you're giving him less power drafting him later. A lot of people are saying it's because of his dad that he got drafted in the 5th round. But I really like this for the Browns. And also with their trade that they made in the 1st round, trading back and letting the Jaguars get Travis Hunter, the Browns got a lot of draft capital, and they ended up getting a guy that I really like in Mason Graham, who's I think is the 2nd best, well, 3rd best defensive player in this draft.
If the NFL is listening, we need the Cleveland Browns hard knocks this season.
Oh, yes. Yes, we do. Yes,
Just
we
with
do.
that quarterback
I mean-
room alone.
Shedeur's fall was something beyond football. The guy on the football field is not a 5th round talent. This was beyond the game of football. Something that we don't know about happened. It's okay. Shedeur's still going to be great in the NFL. I still believe King Shedeur.
Hold on. There's one more thing I wanted to point out. I know we're kind of past this topic, but the Falcons in that draft picking that 1st round. You had Mike
We don't have to
Green
keep
falling
bringing
out of
this
the
up.
1st round. Why? I understand character concerns and all the, stuff against him, and you have Mike Green going to the Ravens. I want to shout out the Ravens for having a
dude.
fantastic draft because you got Malachi Starks at the safety position. You got Mike Green. Like, I understand the reason why he fell and, the character concerns there, but he's still a phenomenal player. And you mentioned a deep edge class. When the Falcons could have gotten a guy like Mike Green in that second round. That's what confuses me.
Yeah, I agree, Jackson. I have the exact same thoughts.
Yeah,
There were so many edges that there could have been. There's so many edges that I think Mike
Had me on
Green's a
the edge of my
legitimate.
seat.
Yeah, Mike Green, I think, is a legitimate better football player than James Pierce Jr. He does have the off-field issues.
Yeah.
Falcons can concern about that. May have their concerns about that.
Yeah.
I just don't see it worth trading.
Well,
trading
see,
a first
they
round
got
pick
their
for James
pass
Pierce.
rusher in Jalen Walker.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't really need.
Well, Jalen Walker has a lot of positional versatility. You saw how Georgia used him, just in a moving around the defense kind of way. I think he's going to be using a similar role with the Falcons, where you can put him on the edge, you can put him at outside linebacker, you can even play him on some inside covering some tight ends because he's an athlete. But I don't think he does any of it tremendously well.
Well, wrapping it all up, obviously we have some happy fans and we have some not so happy fans of their teams. But overall, a great draft, and we are now going to be going to an ad break, show some love to the other shows, and when we come back, we'll be talking about some college baseball, so don't go anywhere.
It's a tale as old as time. All good things must come to an end. But this final ride is going to be legendary.
Oh, yeah.
More legendary than this.
Is this the dagger?
And this.
Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown!
So be sure to listen to Triple Threat every Friday starting at 11, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Well, first we were a podcast to Wolf Sports Network's newest podcast. Then we turned into a live show.
Welcome back to episode 2 of the Triple Threat live show.
And this semester is our final ride. But don't worry, we're not going to stop with the action. From our debates in triple play and the best snake drops across the nation.
Dude, that's everybody's
Guess who's going first as my tight end? Brock Bowers. You don't want to miss out, so tune in every Friday from 11 to 12, only on Wolf Sports Network.
On Sports Out of Pocket, we have a brand new segment called The Lottery, where we talk about the players that we're high on and low on. Like how we're high on Halliburton turning around this Pacers franchise, and how we're low on Bryce Young for sucking it up with the Panthers.
Whoa. Come on now. That wasn't his fault.
Okay, fair enough. But still, listen to The Lottery on Sports Out of Pocket for more opinions on young players in the league. Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesdays at 5, only on Wolf Sports Network. Sports fans, are you looking for a show where you can see other sports fans sharing in your misery and excitement? Then Sports Out of Pocket is for you, because we're fans too, and we experience our highs.
Cooper DeJean is not a safety. He's just a corner who will lock down your number one.
And our lows.
Trayshawn Ward, screw you, buddy. You were on our team last year, and you gave us no mercy, okay?
So join us every Wednesday at 5 to cheer and boo along with us, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are proud to help reduce the 21% of adults with low literacy skills. We are collecting new and gently used books for every UWG pre-K student monthly. Give today by visiting wolfradio.com/bookdrive. That's wolfradio.com/bookdrive. When it comes to fandom, nothing matters more than the fit. The logo you wear solidifies your love. Now you can be a Wolf Sports Network fanatic with our brand new merch store powered by Ozier Apparel. Visit wolfsportsnetwork.com and click About. Now let's talk about some college baseball.
It's time for the 7th inning stretch.
Now, I know we haven't talked about college baseball in a while, but we are going to bring it right back. There have been some crazy games and some crazy series that have happened this last week. Number 25, NC State, knocking off number 2, Clemson, in a 3-0 sweep. Unranked Florida getting a series win over number 5, Arkansas. And then Oregon sweeping Oregon State. So we're going to kick it off to Brandon first to talk about NC State versus Clemson.
So normally I talk about Georgia Tech right here, but we're going to go within the ACC, and we're going to stay in there, and we're going to stay with 2 of the top teams that are in the ACC. Like literally, Clemson was leading the ACC coming into the weekend, and they left the weekend getting swept by NC State, and now NC State's the leader of the ACC in the standings. And if there was a time for NC State to really show up and show the country that, hey, we're not playing around, we can be a really good baseball team, it was in this series. Clemson came in ranked number 2. NC State was number 25. NC State got a clean sweep on them, and none of the games were even close. NC State outscored them 28-8 in this series, including getting run ruled.
Yes.
In game 1 of it, 14-4. So NC State, they're cooking right now, boys. And I think not only in the ACC should people be scared of them, I think everybody around the country should be scared of them.
Oh, yeah, for sure. NC State looked very, very good in this series against a very, very tough Clemson team. Clemson has been near the top for the entire season, and NC State's kind of just been sitting at the bottom for most of the season.
And see, they handled that lineup that Clemson has really well because there wasn't a pitcher this series for them that allowed more than 2 runs.
Yeah.
So they were able to stop Clemson from scoring, and I think they wound up just blowing them out.
Oh, yeah. And also, I want to throw this next game over to Jackson. Florida, who is unranked, getting a series win over number 5 Arkansas. What did you see?
So what really shocked me when I was doing the research for this, 3 weeks ago when Florida was, guess what Florida's record against SEC was? 3 weeks ago, 1-11, and coming off a sweep by Vanderbilt in Gainesville, things look pretty hopeless, right? But no. So Florida won the first game. Taking 2 of the 3 games, by the way. And I'm looking at this in the second game. Unfortunately, their defense looked a little sloppy, dropping a 7-0 loss to the Razorbacks. But then they came back, having a 9-5 win over the Razorbacks. And some players, I also wanted to point out were Blake Sir, Bobby Bozer, each finishing with 2 RBIs over the weekend. And right fielder Ty Evans, making his first start since April 8th, belted a solo homer in the 7th inning in that final game to overtake the Razorbacks to close out the series. So, I'm liking Florida.
I mean, Florida
towards the end of the season.
Yeah, Florida in this game looked very, very good, and I was very impressed with this team getting a 2-1 series win over Arkansas, which Arkansas also, they're pretty much known for baseball, and when you get beat by a Florida team that is unranked, that's kind of sad, but of course it's baseball, anything can happen. But I want to wrap it up with number 13 Oregon sweeping Oregon State, an in-state rivalry. Number 3 Oregon State gets defeated. Now, on Friday, Oregon won 4-2. On Saturday, they won 13-1, and then Sunday they won 3-2. Now, this game on Sunday was probably the best out of all of them. It was in Eugene, Oregon, obviously. Oregon State, their record falls to 32-10, while Oregon moves up quite a bit, getting 3 wins over the weekend. So for Oregon State, their starter on the mound was Ethan Kleinschmidt. Pitched 6 innings and had 12 strikeouts, which is a season high for him. He walked 4 batters and he gets the loss. So having a season high in strikeouts and losing a game, that's tough. That's real tough. But their relievers, Joey Munt and Kellen Oakes, overall, all their pitchers got 17 strikeouts and 4 walks in this entire game. But for Oregon State, offensively, they scored 2 runs, one in the second inning. Tice Peterson scores on a bases-loaded walk, which is hilarious because a lot of MLB games have ended that way pretty often. And then in the 8th inning, Arquette hits a 16th home run of the season. And so now they have 2 runs there. But Oregon getting 3 runs in this game. Jacob Wash having a solo home run in the 4th. Maddox Maloney getting a RBI single in the 4th. And then in the 6th inning, Maloney hits another home run, which is his second RBI of the game, to win that 3-2. Both teams had 6 hits in this game and no errors, but OSU missed some pretty big chances with runners left on base in the 7th inning and the 9th inning. The key players for this game, Maddox Maloney, of course, 2 RBIs, 1 home run, and an RBI single for Oregon. Arquette, having for Oregon State, had a solo home run, which is his 16th of the season. And then, of course, for Oregon State, Jacob Krieg and Levi Jones, both having doubles in this game, and which leads to their game tonight. Oregon State hoping to come back after this sweep. They have a game tonight at 8:35 p.m. They just need to get back on track, being at the top and then losing 3 straight. Of course, it's a rivalry. It's in-state rivalry. But this is a game that you need to come away with tonight. Now, I want to throw this next one. This game is an upcoming one, this weekend series, Clemson versus Florida State. Jackson, what do you see going into this series?
So I know Brandon brought up another ACC matchup. I guess we're talking straight ACC ball, baby.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this right now. I'm going to do some side-by-side comparisons between FSU and Clemson. So right now, FSU and Clemson sit at the top of the ACC in overall in conference winning percentage. But let's look at FSU side of the ball, averaging 8.5 runs. Wow. Per game, a 306 total team batting average, having a 3.98 ERA total for pitching, but holding, and this is the real shiner right here, a 210. I'm using terms from back in the day. Hold on. 210.
Okay.
No, I wasn't. I didn't say it. 210 batting average. I refrained myself. 210 batting average, holding opposing teams to. But I want to shout out some players from Florida State. Max Williams. I'm looking at his slash line right now. A 3.25 batting average, 15 homers, 38 RBIs, and Alex Lodice, a 4.40 batting average, 14 homers, and 53 RBIs. And this FSU staff is anchored by left-hander Jamie Arnold. Just right now, his season stats: a 2.98 ERA, 100, and he had 159 strikeouts last season. But I'm looking at Jamie Arnold right now, and he's a top 5 MLB prospect for the MLB draft this coming up summer. And a team that has a top 5 pick in the MLB draft in 2025 is the St. Louis Cardinals. And the St. Louis Cardinals don't have many lefties in their rotation. So Jamie Arnold is a guy that we are looking at drafting, and I would not be mad at.
Well, Joey, our TriCaster, is actually booing you right now for being a Cardinals fan. But Aiden, going into this series, do you have any key players that would be big for either side?
I want to talk about the guy opposite Jackson Arnold, the other center fielder in this series, Clemson center fielder Cam Cannarella. This is another guy that's probably going to be a first-round pick in the draft.
Yep.
And so far on the season, he has 14 doubles. He's getting on base at a .452 percentage rate. This guy's walking 20% of the time when he comes up to bat. He's getting on base by any means necessary, and I think that he's just as important to his team as Jackson Arnold is for Florida State.
All right, and now I want to throw this next series to Brandon, number 10 Auburn versus number 12 Tennessee in a weekend series. What are you looking forward to in this series?
So, yeah, we're not going all ACC today. But
ACC is dominating
Tennessee,
right now,
Auburn, two of the top teams in the SEC right now. I think Tennessee has slipped off a bit since they've been number one.
Oh, yeah.
Tennessee, the past two series, the past 2 weekend series that they've had, they had a really bad series against Kentucky 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
To where they got run-ruled in one of those games. And then you had last weekend the weekend series against LSU. And they didn't look good in that at all, wound up losing 2 of the 3 out of it. So if Tennessee still wants to be seen as one of the top teams in the country, then they are going to have to at least pull out 2 of these, possibly even 3 of them. Because Auburn comes into it ranked number 5 in the country. Tennessee's number 12. I think that Tennessee, you've just got to go out there and you've got to do something. Show us a little bit of life before we get to the postseason.
Show us that championship team that we saw last year.
Be legendary.
Let's be legendary, coach, in the words of Shador Sanders. But before we move on, Aiden, who is one key player in this game or this series?
In this series, I'm going to go with Tennessee shortstop Dean Curley. Now, this is a guy whose OPS is at just under 1,000 from the shortstop position. When you can get a shortstop who can do that 2 ways, that is a very rare thing and very valuable for a team. When a player the high up on the defensive spectrum at shortstop is able to get on base and be productive for you on the offensive side of the ball as well.
All right, now before we move on to Who's That Campus Legend, I want to go ahead and update everybody on the new college baseball rankings, the top 10. Texas remains at number 1 after a 3-0 sweep this last weekend versus Texas A&M. LSU, who you mentioned earlier, moves up from 7 to 2. Clemson goes down from 2 to 3. North Carolina goes from 8 to 4. Florida State goes from 4 to 5. Oregon, who swept Oregon State this past weekend, moves up from 13 to 6. Oregon State goes down from 3 to 7. UC Irving goes from 12 to 8. My UGA Georgia Bulldogs move up a spot from 10 to 9, and then Auburn goes up from 11 to 10, while Arkansas and Tennessee both dropped out of the top 10. Now, it is our season finale, So we're going to save some time for Who's That Campus Legend at the very end. We have a little extended time to pick 2 players for each of us. So we are going to have a very special episode for Who's That Campus Legend in a very, very tight race. But don't go anywhere because we are going to have an ad break, show some more love to the other shows, and when we come back, it's time for the finale of Who's That Campus Legend.
You know who it is. It's Carly. And I have one last semester.
Colorado State just announced that they will be joining the Pac-12 along with a bunch of other Mountain West teams. I have the absolute honor to sideline report on ESPN
Yes,
Plus.
sir.
Florida State is a fraud and has always been a fraud.
Let's make it a good one. Tune into Sports Pack every Monday and Thursday at 6 p.m. on Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
Wolf Sports Network is content heaven for a sports fan, but their show Sports Pack is my personal favorite. Sports Pack airs on Mondays and Thursdays from 6 to 7 on Wolf Sports Network, filled with fresh personalities, funny moments, and piping hot takes, along with call-ins that allow listeners to get in on the action. Check out Sports Pack every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Hello? Hey there, sir. Have you heard the news? What news? Sports Pack is back! That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The start of a new semester means that Sports Pack is back on Mondays and Thursdays from 6 to 7 here on Wolf Sports Network.
It's a tale as old as time. All good things must come to an end. But this final ride is going to be legendary.
Oh, yeah.
More legendary than this.
Is this the dagger?
And this.
Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown!
So be sure to listen to Triple Threat every Friday starting at 11, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are proud to boost literacy rates with our pre-K book drive. Our ongoing book drive will provide a new or gently used book to every child at UWG's Pre-K Monthly. Give today by visiting wolfradio.com/bookdrive. Together, Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network will make a brighter future. Visit wolfradio.com/bookdrive. College students who binge drank alcohol at least 3 times per week were roughly 6 times more likely to perform poorly on a test or project as a result of drinking. That is why the Crafty Rabbit Meadery has joined Wolf Sports Network and Wolf Radio's Drink Responsibly campaign to remind students drinking should be done responsibly and in an environment that discourages overindulging. Faculty will not take hangovers as excuses. Now it's time for the finale of Who's That Campus Legend.
Reggie Bush, Johnny Manziel, Jimmer Fredette, Christian Leitner. What do these guys have in common? All these players know what it's like to be a campus legend.
You heard it. It is the finale of Who's That Campus Legend on our last show of the season. And reading the current standings, Jackson and Brandon are tied at 25, which is why they're doing some weird face-off going on.
I think they're about
I don't
to kiss,
know.
JT.
They look like they're about to kiss.
Yeah.
I hope they don't.
We're going to get this W, baby.
This is weirdly sexual.
All right. And Aiden has 14 points, and I'm sitting at 9 points. And we're going to kick this one off with Jackson. You were going to go first.
Oh, really? I was not prepared. I'm kidding.
Obviously.
All right. The college is TCU.
Ooh.
Anybody have a lock-in for TCU?
I know a few TCU guys.
I don't.
Awesome.
The college.
Very cool, Brandon.
The college is all right. Position. Quarterback.
Ooh. I'm going to need the year.
He's a TCU quarterback. Anybody? Nobody?
Wait. I'm going to lock in because I need some points.
I'm going to need the year.
Yeah, but Jackson's not going to do the.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're trying to catch up
I'm
to
not gonna do
Aiden.
the
I need to
obvious
catch
one.
up somehow, so I'm
There you
locking
I
in
have
at
Aaron
4.
Craft. All right, flip your board over.
No.
No, not
okay.
right
That's not
now.
how that works.
What? That's not how that
Like,
works.
flip it
Hold on.
upside down. I was talking about that.
Oh.
Undrafted in 2016.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I got it wrong.
Oh, I got it.
Dang.
Yeah.
See, this is why you wait. Patience pays off, guys. To all the children out there watching this
Yeah,
episode.
we got this. I think we're locking in right here, boys.
You're showing you just showed it.
Well, everybody's
We're
locked
locking
in.
in, boys.
I'm gonna erase my answer.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, you
Everybody's
two had
locked
already
in.
had it wrote
Everybody's
down.
locked in. I locked in
All
for
right.
4. I went Max Duggan.
It is not Max Duggan.
I went Trayvon Boykin.
I went Trayvon Boykin, too.
It is Trevon Boykin.
Let's go.
It is Trevon Boykin. So put Brandon
3 points.
and Aiden up for 3.
Brandon and Aiden
do you
both
want me
get
to
3.
name my second one?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
All
we're
right.
doing- Okay.
Here
Okay.
is my second one. College, Oregon.
There's been a lot of guys come out of Oregon, buddy.
No,
I don't. Mm-mm.
There's a long list of Oregon. All right.
There is.
Oregon quarterback.
There's a
Oregon quarterback.
There's an Oregon quarterback.
Oregon quarterback.
I'm locking in.
Anybody
I-
locking in? Else?
I'm locking in.
I have a very good
Brandon?
idea because I don't think it's going to be as
I'm
obvious.
locking in for 4.
Okay.
It's always works
Ready?
for him. Never
For the
failed.
draft and year.
I gotta take a guess.
3rd overall in 2002.
Yeah, my guy is not right.
Oh, I think I know who this is.
If he gets this, I might be. I thought I wasn't old enough to remember this player.
I think I know who this
All
is
right.
right here.
Could be getting
It's
some good
between
points here.
2 people.
The years.
That's got to be
6 years in the NFL from 02 to 07. 6 seasons.
I don't remember
Nobody?
being
Cool.
in the NFL that long.
No
though.
idea.
NFL teams: Detroit, Atlanta, and Miami.
I don't know if this guy ever played for Atlanta. If he did, it was I don't know.
Detroit, Miami, Atlanta. Aiden, do you have anybody you gonna lock in?
I've got a thought.
Matt
I've got
Ryan.
a thought.
Oregon quarterback, Boston College, baby.
Oh, I know who it is.
Oh my goodness, what's this dude's name? I don't.
Ooh.
No looking it
Oh.
up.
I don't think this is his
JT?
name at all. but
I
I'm
haven't
gonna write
touched
it
my
down.
computer.
JT's a cheater. That's why he has 5 points.
Bro.
I have 9.
I don't- That's not very
He did
effective
get
cheating.
deducted 25.
I got
for
deducted a
cheating.
lot of points for cheating, guys.
Yeah, in case you missed it.
All right,
Aiden
flip-
locked in.
Aiden.
I locked in for 4. I went Bo Nix.
It is not Bo Nix.
I went
It
David
is not
Blunt.
David Blunt.
I went Dennis Dixon.
It is not Dennis Dixon, but I love that. It is Joey
Harrington.
Harrington.
Isn't that a Walking
is
Dead
Joey
character?
Harrington.
Dennis Dixon.
Oh.
So right now, Brandon has 28, and
I'm keeping
So-
track of the score. Don't
Wait.
spoil nothing.
All
Hold
right.
on. I want a score update right now, please. Oh, I don't get it.
You don't
JT,
get it.
so
Brandon,
this
you're
is
going to go up next.
Brandon.
All right, I'm going to go next.
You're going to get both players.
All right. Florida State's the college.
Ugh.
I assume no one wants to lock in on that?
No.
Nope. The Florida State wide receiver.
Ooh, there's a couple I have in mind.
Yep.
There's a couple
There
I have
has
in
been
mind.
a couple of receivers come through Florida
I'm
State.
going to take a guess.
A Florida
I need
State wide
points.
receiver. All right, give
Wait.
me the.
This is when we go out and we reach on these boys.
We
And
have to. We have to. I got to write his name right.
This
All right.
better be like a
Does-
notable player.
Does
it's
no
like
one-
Aaron Kraft
All
was
right.
notable, just to let y'all know.
I'm locked
1995.
in. I'm locked in for
Does
4.
no one want to take
No,
another guess,
no,
or am I going again?
Third.
2003 draft pick number 54.
I need to stop guessing these. I gotta stop guessing.
I'm not sure. 2003 draft.
Yep.
I'm unbelievably unhappy.
Yeah, I
Yep.
don't know. Go.
All right,
go
we are going to go played from 2003 to 2017.
Oh,
Wow. Wow.
So long reigning guy.
Wow.
this brings me back
Was in the league for a while.
to 2017.
Yep.
Ooh,
14
I don't know if
career.
this guy. Ooh, wait, no, he didn't play that long.
You
Did he
may
play
actually
that
know
long?
him from the teams, though.
I have no
I'm
idea.
gonna,
I'm
I'm gonna
guessing-
walk in at
I'm
one.
gonna guess.
I'll be safe at one.
I'm gonna guess
I'll be
for
safe
2.
at one because
Hold
he's
on.
a second.
Okay,
Alright.
he's taking the safe
All
road.
right, I'm gonna guess. I don't think you went to Florida State. Now that I think about this, for 2
All
seconds.
right.
All right, just give
you
me
got
the
it written
team.
down there, Aiden?
Yeah.
Okay. Teams are the Cardinals, Ravens, 49ers, Lions, and Bills.
No, I missed it. I'm so wrong.
Cardinals, Ravens.
I hate that I already guessed.
Do you know who it is, JT?
I think so. I don't want to embarrass myself and say I
Hold
know
on.
it, and then
You
no.
said Cardinals, Ravens.
49ers, Lions, and Bills.
I got it. I got it.
Michael Crabtree.
All right. Everybody. Oh, flip your boards, everybody. Let's
All
see.
right.
I got it.
Keon. Give me Keon.
Keon.
Steve Smith
Anquan
Sr.
Bolden.
It is Anquan Bolden.
Yeah.
I'll take 1 point. I'm solidified at 1 point.
Steve Smith went to, I
So-
believe, Maryland. Now that I think
It
about
was between 2 people. I was thinking Torrey Smith as well.
Gosh.
You know. All right. Who's your second guy?
Second is guy from USC, and I don't think anybody's going to guess on that. So
I'm guessing.
Okay,
Well,
he's guessing.
I'm not.
Is a USC running back.
Ooh.
I don't.
I know one
there's
very
an
good
obvious one,
There's
and
one
I'm not
very
gonna.
good one.
I'm not
gonna
do the
take another
obvious
chance
one.
because I've been over 3 already.
All right, you guys are going to have to hear me out on this one. He is a very notable player, but he was taken in the 1982 NFL draft, pick number 10.
Oh, I got it.
He just wants to win. There's no shot that this guy was.
Bro, this is one of the most
Guys, I've got it.
running
I've
backs
got
in college
it. Yeah,
football
come on.
history.
Y'all got to lock in here.
I'm locking in.
I'm not gonna walk in.
I'm locking in.
I'm not gonna walk in. I will take the safer
I don't
route.
think that pick is correct, but I believe the
Just
year
keep
is
going.
close.
Just keep
All right.
going. I want to solidify
Played-
myself with 2 points.
Played from 1982 to 1997.
Okay.
Sounds right.
Okay.
All
We
right.
both lock in for 4?
Are you-
Or-
Yeah, I locked in for 4.
You locked
I'm not
I locked
locked in.
for 3,
I'm
right?
not
Oh, wait, no, I
locked in
locked
at
in.
all.
I locked in for
I'm
You're
not
okay.
locked in at
I'm
all.
keeping up with you over here, buddy. You need years?
Yeah, I do need years.
82 to 97.
Or no, you said that. You said that.
Okay.
So the
Teams.
the
So you need
teams.
teams of the Raiders and the Chiefs.
I don't think I got this.
I got it.
It's in my brain and it's in my mind.
Heisman winner.
I got it. I got it.
Whoa,
I got it.
whoa.
Sorry,
there. That's
hey,
that's a
hints.
pretty big hint over
Sorry,
there, Aiden.
if he knows who won the
No, you're
1980
okay.
Heisman. Well, actually, no.
I don't think
1980
this is
Heisman
right.
was
I
Herschel
don't
Walker.
think this is
Yeah.
right, but I'll lock in for
Alright.
2
All right,
points
Aiden
All
locked
right.
in for
for you. I'll lock in for
was it
1.
3?
3.
We both locked in
We've
for
all
3.
got it
Go ahead and
locked
flip it.
in. Let's see.
Marcus Allen.
I put Reggie Bush.
There's Marcus Allen.
Okay. Okay.
Did you get Marcus Allen? Oh, you
I
did.
did.
Good
At one
job, you
point.
guys.
At
Aiden
one
gets
point.
3 there, and so does Jackson.
I'm at 1 point.
Jackson-
Remember him from
I'm at 1.
NCAA 14
So I have a
Heisman
total of
mode.
2 on Brandon. So Brandon's up at 1.
Shush your mouth, Jackson. We're trying not to spoil
Okay.
the
Yeah.
score.
All right, JT.
Aiden, you're gonna go ahead and go
Or-
next.
All right. My player went to Mississippi Valley State.
Oh. Let's.
I just heard Joey in the background.
I know the name.
Oh.
I know the name.
Mississippi
Is it-
Valley
I-
State.
Yep. Name me
All
the.
right, just
Oh,
give me a
God.
position.
Oh,
He
Give me the
played wide
position.
receiver.
Oh.
Yeah, I know it's a wide receiver.
I'm gonna look so.
Nobody's got it, guys.
No.
I know.
No.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I'm
my
gonna need
mind's
another
blanking on
hint.
his name.
Well,
I
you're
hate
you're
this.
locking in, Brandon.
No, I'm gonna need
Okay,
another
okay.
hint.
Dude.
He was drafted 16th overall in 1985.
What?
Never mind.
Oh,
I was going crazy for a second. I thought I knew
What?
who it was.
who is it? Oh God, who is it? Oh, dude,
I don't know. Brandon, this is
I
your
know
year.
who this is.
This is your year.
Wait.
All right, years.
No.
I know. Oh gosh, what's his name?
Can you give us the years?
Next him.
Can you give us the years?
The year. Wait, what? The years that he played?
He played.
What?
So he played from 1985 to 2005.
He wasn't drafted in '85 though, but
Hold on.
He was 1985. 16th
I'm
overall.
very
was. If that guy's not drafted, don't write his name.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't.
If you know
pick
he's
it.
not 1985, don't write that name down.
I'm very confused, but I think that he was in the league before this.
I'm just gonna wait for the teams. I'm gonna get my 1 point.
I'm locking in.
Okay.
Both of them locked in for 2. Give me that last one.
The Niners, the Raiders, the Seahawks,
Yep, I got it. I
and
got
the
it.
Broncos as a practice squad only, or as an off-season only member.
JT, you have
I
to
got
know
it.
this.
Well, no, he doesn't have to know
No,
this.
he has to know
I
this
guess
based
I
on
have
that.
to.
1985
No,
to
no,
2005.
What's the teams again?
The 49ers, the Raiders, and the Seahawks.
Oh my gosh, I hate my. I know who it is.
It was. I was thinking it was.
This guy.
I'm so.
All right, so we're
Yeah.
flipping.
Yes.
This is Jerry
Jerry
Rice.
Everyone got it. It was indeed Jerry Rice.
Wow.
I was thinking it was Jerry Rice, but it threw me off when you said 85 because I could have swore he was already in the league by then.
Me and Brandon both locked in for 2.
I got that right now. I know what I'm
Okay.
doing. Aiden, go ahead and read off your second player.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just locked in, bro.
My
I'm
second
locked in.
player went to the University of Nevada.
Jackson.
Hey, don't look at
Jackson.
my
Hold up.
peaky
Jackson's
over
like,
here.
who is it?
I'm going to take a
on the
risk
edge of my
here.
seat.
I'm going to lock in.
Oh.
I'm going to
Oh.
lock in right here.
Wait.
Ooh, this could be a
Okay, it's a
could
risk.
be a
It's a risk.
championship winning
Hold on.
play from
Hold on.
Brandon.
Hold on. Okay, good next one. I'm
We
not
got to
gonna lock
swing
in.
big, boys.
You
If
gotta
we're going to
swing
win, we
big.
got to go big.
You're
He
right.
was a quarterback.
I think I got it,
No
boys. I think I
shot.
know it.
Dude,
I think I got
my
it.
mind's blanking because I know who
I
this
think
is.
I
too.
got it.
I know who it is. Why is my mind blanking so bad? Oh no.
Hold on.
A lot of people saying they know it. Not a lot of people writing an answer down.
Wait, I'm writing this down.
Man.
I'm writing this down. I'm locking in for 4.
I'm going through my head.
Brandon for 5. Jackson for 4. Big moment.
I'm
in the
just glad I
championship
got a
race. JT
5.1.
thinking-
There's no shot that he got
You
this
want to
right.
hear the draft pick?
Go ahead.
He was drafted 36th overall in the second round.
Of what year?
Oh, of 2011. Sorry.
Yep.
30.
Nope.
Dude, I'm so mad.
Bro.
I'm mad.
I'm so
Oh my
mad
gosh,
that
you
I
sound
can't
mad,
do that.
buddy.
He sounds really upset.
You sound upset.
I know who this is right after he said that.
36
And I wrote down,
overall.
I wrote down the wrong name.
Just give me the rest of the hints.
Bro.
He
Jackson.
played from 2011 to 2016 for the San Francisco 49ers.
No, that's not right.
5 years in the NFL for one team.
Why did I say that? Why did I say that? Joey,
You gotta make big moves.
Joey, why did I say that, man? Why did I write it down, bro? Oh, I might have just sold.
I'm gonna hate myself.
I know
I'm
who
not
it
locked
is.
in. I don't know.
All right, JT does not know. Let's see if Brandon knows. Brandon's the only one.
No.
Brandon locked in at 5 for
Colin
Colin
Kaepernick.
Kaepernick, which is the correct
It's
answer.
wrong.
Go.
It's wrong.
Carson, who does that say?
Strong.
Carson
Strong.
Strong.
It's.
I don't know who that is.
It is Carson Strong. No, I'm kidding. All right, I'm going to go ahead and read off my 2 players. Now, this first player
Brandon.
went
What a play by Brandon for the 5.
to the University of Georgia. The good old
All
UGA.
right. Position.
The position, linebacker.
I need to lock him.
I need a year.
Anybody locking in? Jackson?
No.
I know a lot of Georgia linebackers.
No, but I need a year.
The year might give it away. 8th overall in 2018.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what's this?
Why am I blanking? I'm under.
This is the bad time for you to be blanking, buddy.
2018 linebacker.
Ooh, I'm between.
Georgia.
I'm actually between 2 right
8th
now.
overall.
I'm not entirely sure.
That was the Baker Mayfield Josh Allen draft. That's 2018. Why 8th overall? Why am I blinking?
Hold
Should I
on,
go
hold
ahead?
on. No.
I'm waiting. All right.
Oh.
Did Brandon lock in?
I locked in.
Brandon
I'm locking in.
I locked in on year.
I'm actually going with my second. Yeah, I'm going with my second guess, not my original.
You
thought.
locking in, Jackson?
No, because.
All right. He is still active.
Congrats.
He's still active.
Still active.
My guy is still active.
You need the team.
2018, and I'm gonna look. So I'm not a Georgia fan,
You
but
need
I
the
should still
teams.
know who this is. Yeah.
The Bears and the Ravens.
I about swore.
I got it.
Yeah.
I had to catch myself.
All right, Jackson writing down for 1. All right, go ahead and flip your boards. Ooh, it is Roquan Smith.
Roquan Smith was my original thought,
Hey,
and
you
then
didn't write it right.
I convinced
I think-
myself.
I think
for
I should
Leonard
get
Floyd.
Let me see that board.
Bro.
That's
Bro.
close. Yeah.
No, we no.
All right. And my second player went to Arkansas.
Oh, I got it.
You know what? I am going to lock in on this.
I have to lock in on this. Hold on. It's between.
We're all gonna lock in on
Everybody's
5.
locking in on 5.
I think we may lock in on 5.
I mean, I'll list off the rest of the hints, but you guys don't need them.
Nope.
Hold on.
Everybody locking in at 5?
I am not like the Falcons. I do not just wait around for my opponents to eventually come back on me. I
Falcons
take big swings and I win. And this is
I'm
a
locked
big
in.
money
All right,
move.
everybody locked in. All right, Arkansas offensive guard, 63rd overall in 1999. He didn't play a snap in the NFL, but he was drafted by the Indianapolis Colts. Go ahead and flip your boards.
I think we all wrote down the same person.
Darren
I think we
McFadden.
all wrote down Darren McFadden.
Alex Collins.
Alex Collins.
It is Brandon Burlesworth.
Yeah, he had a movie made about him.
He did
guys.
have a movie made about him.
That's
a great
awesome.
movie.
You know what that movie is? Legendary.
That movie is legendary. But I do want to say, we're going to list off these final standings. Of course, thank you all so
Last
much
to
for
first?
watching.
Last to first.
Yes, all right. I guess. So I am in last with 10 points. Aiden in third with 20. And the winner is Brandon Dyer with 38 points. Jackson had 30. And thank you all so much for watching, staying with us throughout this entire semester, through this season. It's been so much fun being able to start our own show and just be able to give you guys great content each week. For JT, Aiden, Jackson, and Brandon, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys next season.